Hello everybody, this is Sudan Kumar, Associate Professor, Rogini College of Engineering and Technology, Anjagramam. So, for this video we are going to discuss about methods of irrigation. Methods of irrigation means, so we are using many methods of irrigation to cultivate the crops, okay. And first one is surface irrigation method. And the surface irrigation method means with the help of gravitational force we have to flow the water in the agricultural crops, in the root zone of agricultural crops. That is called as surface irrigation. So first one is furrow method. In this method, irrigation water is useful for row of crops. Narrow channels are dug at the regular intervals. Water from the main supply is allowed to enter the small channels or furrows. Water from the furrows infiltrates in the soil and spread laterally to the structure the root zone of the crops. It is suitable for row of crops like potato, sugarcane, tobacco, maize, groundnut and java. So this is the furrow method. This is a figure for furrow method. And this method has the following advantages. Less water is required for water content of 1.5 and half of the land surface. Evaporation loss is less. Labor requirement for the land preparation is irrigation is less. Wastage of water is minimum. It is suitable for row of crops. And this is a furrow method. And contour farming method. So contour farming is the practiced in hilly areas with slopes and with falling contour. The land is divided into series of horizontal strips called as traces. Small bunds are constructed at the end of the earth terrace to hold water up to the equal height. So this is a contour farming method. This is a figure for contour farming method, and this is also the contour farming method. And third one is flooding method. The flooding method is subdivided into various methods as free flooding, and this is the flooding method, okay, and basin flooding, and this is called as basin flooding. This is basin method. So in the root zone of the crop we have to create the basin, and in the basin we have to store the water, and that water is using for growth of plants. That is called as basin method. Next one is check flooding. In check flooding, the crops area is divided into some plots which are relatively relieved by decks or bunds of water from the field channels. Is allowed to enter to each plot of for check basins, and the plots are floated to the required depth, and this is called as check flooding. And at border strips, next one is border strips. In this method, the agricultural area is divided into series of long, narrow strips known as border strips by leaves. Small bunds, the strips are aligned along the country slope so that the water can flow easily throughout the area. This method is suitable when the area is at level with gentle country slope. And border strips, this is called as border strips. And zigzag method.